Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. My name is Breakaway Ray, and I'm on your list of top 5 podcasters who wear a tie even on a Saturday. You've tuned in to a live tarot throw. Today is September 13th, 2025. Going to double check that. That's right, that is correct. It's a Saturday, but every day is a raycation for me. I'm going to throw you 3 cards for your Saturday morning, and then I'm going to enjoy wrapping up our thoughts for the week before I invite you to submit your tarot request for the second part of the show. Thank you for joining me, whether you're joining me live, well, especially if you're joining me live. Thank you very much for being here. Also, I want to thank all the subscribers, and if you're tuning into a recording, well, I'm so glad you caught this because I got the impression that this is going to be a good show. So thank you very much. Let's go to the tarot cam and get you 3 cards. All right. I've got another canaletto over here. It might surprise you to know that this canaletto, maybe I should put this in the middle here. Here we go. This canaletto is actually a painting of the Thames River in London. And I know it's hard to see, but there's St. Paul's Cathedral back there. What an intriguing painting by Mr. Canaletto, Signore Canaletto. Makes me want to ask a whole bunch of questions when I look at a beautiful painting like this, but that's not what I'm here for. All right, let's get you 3 cards. Good morning, Tarot World. Talk about reliable. The Tarot World has been here every morning we've been here. Bringing the noise, bringing the happy, fun, helpful messages. Thank you so much, Tarot World. I know you want to do a little encore here at the end of the week. We got people tuning in to hear what you have to say, Tarot World. It's all wisdom we can share, even when we're just talking about one person, for example. All right. Here we go. 3 cards for everyone tuning in whenever you're tuning in. 3 cards here on STARCARD Podcast. Get you started on your Saturday morning or whenever you're tuning in. 3 cards, a fun, helpful message. I'm guessing it will reflect some of the things we talked about this week. 3 cards, please. There we go. 3 cards. Did you see how I slipped that right out from underneath the bottom? So top, then I cut it, and then I drew from the bottom. Okay, I'm just comparing what I do to other people. You know, we're all learning together. We can all learn new tricks no matter how old we get. All right, here we go. Card number 1. All right. It's the Queen of Swords. She's the one that always says, you were right. Next up, oh yeah, sweet. You know the Tarot World's ready. It's the 10 of Cups. It's the Dreams Come True card. And then, oh, dude, whoa, okay, hang on. We're going to turn this into a positive in a hurry here, okay? And this is the 5 of Pentacles, which we've talked about a lot during the last week. And, you know, one of the words or one of the terms it uses on the reverse 5 of Pentacles, when you turn it upside down, the term is spiritual poverty. And then, of course, if you've been tuning in, you remember I had this already made up. Look, I just reached right over and grabbed it, right? It was sitting right there. You're watching STARCARD Podcast. We're here for the war on spiritual poverty. We're learning more about being in connection with our higher selves and with Source, and joining a positive collective consciousness and using that magic to make things better on planet Earth. So you were right. It's a dream come true that we're all collaborating together here on the war on spiritual poverty. So that seems like a pretty awesome message if I read it correctly. Thank you very much, Tarot World. I bet I did read it correctly. I think the tarot cards know exactly how and what I want to say. So why should they make it easy for me? So let me give these a quick shuffle. And then I just have a couple of notes before we'll get to your readings. Okay, there we go. Adjust this. That's better. And now, there we go. Okay, so first of all, yesterday I did a pretty good job. And in the description, I talked about recess. And so I clarified myself more in today's description. All I had to say yesterday was, when it's recess time at school, it depends on if it's an outside recess or an indoor recess. And, depending on what kind of recess it is, it kind of determines how your recess time goes, for example. And then I was going to use that comparison for what we're doing. When we're in a moment of repose, as in with the Four of Swords, when we're in a moment of repose and relaxation, taking a break, and it kind of depends on what we want to look at. For example, with the tarot cards or with our journal or with some other mode of expression, do we want to look at the outside world, the world around us, which is a reflection of what's inside, or do we want to look directly inside and see what's going on? So it's the inside versus the outside. It's very easy to say it's all one thing, but I'm kind of taking that hermetic science angle, whatever's on the inside reflects on the outside. That's the kind of thing that I'm pursuing myself right now. I'm learning more about, and I'm trying to confirm my theories. So moving on here, let me check my notes, right? Okay, so I want to go to something I nicknamed mind mapping. Yeah, so I'm going to go back down to the table here. Okay, so here's something I call mind mapping. I need to get a pen. One moment, please. All right. And I did this activity in one of my teacher education classes. I'm not sure if I did it actually with any of my classes with students who were 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. It's possible that I did. I did a lot of stuff. I never really gave it much thought, but it's not something, that we all cannot do, for example. So it's almost like a Mad Lib for your mind. And what I would do is I would say, okay, everybody, I want you to pick a noun. It doesn't have to be a noun you care about, just a person, place, thing, or an idea, and you write it in the middle there. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a noun right now. I'm going to write down the word vegetable, just put it right in the middle. So I understand that what you can see is just that I'm writing a word on the paper. Let me see if some light helps here. I should write bigger. Let's try again. Okay, so I wrote the word vegetable in the middle, right? And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, 7 lines going off of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, I got it right. Cool. That's elementary school math for you. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of words that the word vegetable makes me think of. And I'm going to pepper this target with those words. So when I think of vegetable, I think of broccoli. I do think of steam because I like to steam vegetables. I also like them raw. As a matter of fact, they're healthier that way, right? Sometimes if you got vegetable, you have a stew. Okay, I hear the word beef coming up. Okay, with vegetable. I don't want to forget farm. One of my grandfathers had a farm and he had tons of vegetables. He grew his own vegetables. Okay, and then I'm going to talk about dinner. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle all those associations I came up with. Okay. And then I'm going to spin the paper and pick one. Looks like I picked broccoli. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to put a bunch of little lines off of it, and then I'm going to think of things that make me think of broccoli, or things that broccoli makes me think of. So again, broccoli, I'm going to be thinking of green. As a matter of fact, green makes me think of money. Broccoli makes me think of health. Taste. For sure. In that case, I'm thinking of the senses. I'm looking at it. I'm tasting it. I could probably smell it. Let's just cover it all in right senses with the broccoli. Okay. I'm also going to say cauliflower, which also reminds me of a brain because they're shaped the same way, and you can cover it with ketchup and make it look like a brain. And I learned that from, what is that character's name from those books? Amber Brown. I think it's Amber Brown. So there's a children's book series called Amber Brown. And for one Halloween, she and her family took some food and made spooky things out of it. So that was kind of a fun story I learned from hanging out with kids reading those books. So then I would take one of those words, and I think I would go, in this case, I would go with senses. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to pick up senses. And we're going to do one more round. One more round. Well, the word senses makes me think of the word sensei, which is a teacher. Okay. Senses, I'm going to go with ESP, extrasensory perception. Okay. Senses, I'm going to have to push myself here. Well, I'm going to write down the number 15 and then 27 because I've heard in some places that, I mean, obviously we all know there's more than 5 senses, but there may be as many as 15 or even 27, according to how you define senses. And then when you're, as long as you're doing that, why don't you write down Robert Monroe's name and the Monroe Institute? Because Mr. Monroe developed a whole schematic for levels of consciousness that, you know, go up to 40 and perhaps beyond. I only know that stuff in a superficial way, but I'm going to go ahead and write down the Monroe Institute here. Well, anyway, you get the idea. And so, by the way, so let's just stop right here, right now. You know, right now I'm like immersed in the idea of Mr. Monroe and his experiments with consciousness. And of course, we can't forget that he was originally a radio engineer, so he understands frequencies. Okay, so now how did I get to this topic? Just by sitting around and thinking. I could trace it all the way back to the word vegetable. And it doesn't seem like it matches, but if you follow your path, that's how you started thinking about it. So I would like to share that when I'm in my meditative states on my hikes, you know, I'm not going with earbuds and listening to music. I'm alone with my thoughts. It helps me to reflect because I'm up there in the dark usually. You know, why am I thinking of this thought right now? Where did this thought come from? And don't forget that when you write something down, it reinforces muscles, as it were, memory muscles. It builds and reinforces synapses in your brain. So if you find that you have a lot of stuff on your mind, like the Two of Pentacles, for example, you might want to get out a piece of paper, you know, write down the one idea that seems to be salient and surfing on the top of all your thoughts, and then see where that takes you. Because I bet your higher self wants to show you how you got there. All right, another experiment to exercise your mind. Thank you very much for allowing me to share that with you. I hope you're having fun. I'm having fun. Not exactly a cartoon. We're not exactly doing a Bugs Bunny cartoon here, but it's still going to be fun, right? So let me check my notes again. One moment, please. Just want to make sure I got everything before I get ready to plan for next week. Get everything? Oh, okay. So we were talking about how everything has consciousness. A tree has consciousness. Other people have consciousnesses. Your pets have consciousness. They're all different levels, for example, but inanimate objects have consciousness. This is going to sound ridiculous. If I heard someone say what I'm about to say, I would say that person needs help. Okay, but for some reason, I don't have a problem sharing this in public right now. You know, while I was in the classroom and I could see, you would call it the light at the end of the tunnel, and I realized I was going to be gone pretty soon after a long stay, not knowing, of course, that all the things that were going to happen actually happened. But I was there in my room, in my classroom, with the desks that I had for so many years. And every year I had to be extra careful, that none of my desks would go missing during the summer. I had to make sure I had a set, it was a good set and they all matched. I didn't want a mix and match bunch of desks. That's not cool for the kids. But nevertheless, a couple of days, there was one week where I'm all, hey, desks, We had a good run. Thank you very much for your help. But, we could see it's the end. And I know that this kind of relates with, there's like experts in the field who, show you how to clean things, how to, clean your house. You pick up something, you evaluate it. Do you really need to touch this thing again? How precious is it? And if it's not precious anymore, let's send it on its way. And you say thank you to the object you're removing, for example. All right, so now let's reflect back to inside the classroom. You can write and learn what's on your mind. Gee, you could throw tarot cards and get a reflection that way. But then in the classroom, this sounds like it's an obvious thing, right? Lots of you have children in your lives. You know what I'm talking about. How about puppets? So I haven't put this thing on in a long time. So I'd like you to meet Ray Manta. Ray Manta. Now, I never developed any kind of routine with Ray Manta. I just thought it was a cool name. And when I introduced puppets to the class, I would say, look, here's Ray Manta. So, but no one, it was never in my puppet show or anything like that. I don't have a cartoon voice for this guy. If you know Breakaway Ray, I like cartoon voices. I don't have one for this guy, but I'm just showing it to you as a visual aid here on my podcast. Because what was cool was I would get the puppets out. And then, of course, the kids would go bananas because they would impart consciousness to the puppet. And they would say, well, this guy needs a hat. And, he's interested in the same things I do. So I'm going to get him some skater shorts or whatever. I'm going to do this puppet's hair, whatever they did. And it was a lot of fun. And you get to learn a lot about the kids by how they work with their puppets. But also, well, the kids would obviously learn a lot too. They'd have a vehicle to express themselves. They don't have to keep it in, right? So anyway, I wanted to share that part with you because sometimes you can even throw tarot cards and get a message for an inanimate object. And I'm going to dare myself to try that right now. That's right. We're going back to the tarot cam in a moment. But here's the deal. Oh, okay. So I got these. I know you recognize these from yesterday. Well, okay, I've got 3 of them, but let's start with these guys. Outside and inside. We were experimenting with allowing the tarot world, inviting the tarot world, tell us about our outside world and what's going on in our inside world. And then I know I just saw this one again. I got source and universe over here, God. Okay, we want God's take, an omniscient take on what's going on. But I think that we're going to put this one aside for right now. So, hey, it's Saturday. Let's take it easy. Let's make it light, right? What I want to say is when I saw the words inside and outside, I kept hearing the Beach Boys singing Inside, Outside, USA. So why don't we take a look at the consciousness of the United States of America? So, some of you are saying, hey, Breakaway Ray, that's not a good idea. Why don't we do that? But let's ask the tarot world for a fun, helpful perspective, right? Let's not focus on the scary things that are going on that we need to fix. Let's help everybody focus on something good that we can all aim for with our minds and our hearts to help our country out. I mean, every country needs help right now. Let's do our part. When we're spending some time together, let's pool our consciousness to help our friend, the United States of America. Let's invite the tarot world to give us an inside, what's on USA's mind and what's going on in USA's outside world. Otherwise, Breakaway Ray doesn't want to scrutinize geopolitics too much. But I'm going to put these down a second and say, someday I hope to have some guests on the show. I know I got a long way to go here. And if it ever comes to geopolitics, there's definitely one person I would invite on the show, and I would allow this person to speak his mind. And if he chose to use cuss words, I would allow it because I really respect this person's perspective on geopolitics, and that's Arkeem Ra. Nevertheless, let's go back now to the tarot table and check out the United States of America. Let's find out what's on the consciousness, what's on the mind of the United States of America, and then also what's going on in the outside world for you, USA. And remember, we're inviting the tarot world to give us a fun, helpful message, okay? Because every day there might be an obstacle, but we overcome an obstacle, a challenge every day. And so does the USA. So let's go for it. You can guys hear the Beach Boys music in your head yet? Here we go. All right, nice job. Nice studio setup. I'm complimenting myself. Okay, so we're gonna go with the outside because that seems like the obvious thing. I'm totally, I know I'm like laughing at myself because, you know, this is rather audacious for me, but it's Saturday, we're having fun, and we're trying to get a helpful message out. So, Tarot World, I know you're gonna help me out. We're all curious, can you show us the consciousness of the United States of America and what's going on in the outside world of the USA? And maybe you can help us see a helpful message, a helpful, fun message, because we're all part of the USA. Well, if you're in the United States, oh, we got such a cosmopolitan crowd. I'm so amazed. People over in Europe and in Australia. I'm not sure if we have any visitors from Asia. But I do remember there was someone from the continent of Africa who dropped in on the chat maybe last week. Awesome. So anyway, again, the United States of America, could you please send us helpful messages, fun messages for the USA? What's going on in USA's life and what's on USA's mind? I want to say it's like a her. I know I'm taking a little bit of the Statue of Liberty. What's on USA's mind? What's going on in USA's life? How's she doing? All right. These are for the USA. Helpful, fun message for the USA. The outside world? Yeah, okay. The inside world. That's right, inside. These are for the USA. Whoa, that's a lot. This is for the USA. And I'm going to invite the Tarot World. I think the Tarot World wants 2, and I agree. Let's give them 2. This is for the USA. Thank you. All right. Here we go. This is for entertainment purposes only. I think we're already entertained. I'm seeing the soda bubble hearts going up to the top of the glass over there in the chat. Give some space. Okay, so hey USA, what's going on? Let's see what's going on with you. Oh. How's that for imagery, everybody? It's the devil card, the shadow self. You probably don't need to watch any cable news network today. I just gave you the news, right? It also indicates something that we got to let go. I don't know. What do we got to let go? Maybe guns? Maybe. Okay. Next up, well, there's magic in the air with the Ace of Wands. We got a fresh start. We all work together here. USA. Oh, wow. This is so dramatic. And it's the 8 of Swords, which says as much as you can imagine. So I want to say that this part, we got to focus on the positive here. Is the USA in a situation like this? Absolutely. But then the deal is we got to make magic as much as you can imagine it. I think the Tarot World is saying, yeah, we all have to think positive as much as we can. That's how the magic's going to work. Great. Whew. I think I'm sweating. All right. What's going on USA's mind? Believe me, I'm not looking forward to this. It's terribly dramatic. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. There we go. This kind of looks like a founding father. Well, I would go even with President James K. Polk, his Manifest Destiny guy. This is limitless potential. Isn't that kind of the spirit of the United States? You know, it goes on, and you know, we get to oversee everything. Yeah, okay, we should be proud. According to history, we really rock. Yeah. Well, let's do it right now. The 8 of Wands indicates speed. It also indicates travel and flight. But I kind of like how the the notion goes, don't forget, you're the United States of America. You kick tail. You help people. You're the light on the hill for everybody. So don't forget that. Remember it right now. You see, the USA's not giving up here. She's got courage. How's that again for the American spirit? Our country's a gift from God with the Ace of Pentacles. There's a lot of promise involved. Whew. I am really glad she's got the right attitude. Way to go, USA. All right, Tarot World, let's finish the show. We got the Chariot. Sweet. We got the Chariot, which indicates movement. Keep it going. Keep trucking. And you know what else? It says it's the Knight of Cups, and that's the Knight in shining armor. And again, that kind of goes with USA's good self-image. We're the Knight in shining armor. We're going to help everybody. We're going to protect everybody. But also, that's like a message for all of us. We, especially if you do live in the United States, right? We are the Knights in shining armor, and we're helping out. We're keeping it going. All right, sweet. Way to go, Tarot World. That was exciting and dramatic and informative and fun. Everything we asked for, right? Everything we asked for. All right. So now, I just did everything. Great. I'm going to give these a shuffle. Yeah. Justice card. Righteous, Breakaway Ray. All right. I'm going to give these a shuffle, and then we'll check out if there's any. Yeah, there are people who want a reading today. So I think the top fans button only goes up to 3. So I've invited you to write in all caps, tarot, please. I'll go through and check now. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Wow. Okay, great. Hey, it's morning for me. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for showing up. I'm so excited you're here. Let's go see number 1, Rose Al-Fayed. Hey, Rose. Good to see you again, Rose. Thanks for coming out. Let's see, number 2. What is hey, hi, Julia. How's it going? All right. I bet that foot gets better every day. Sweet. Julia, I got you down. And number 3. Oh, it's Judy. Hi, Judy. Mrs. NW5. Yeah, I got it right. All right, Judy. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to go through and see if there's anyone else who wrote in a wrote in a tarot request. I see Johnny's name and it makes me laugh. Hey, Johnny, making noise for you. Thanks for letting me in your house. All right. Thanks for inviting me to your party. Penny's here. Penny G. Hi, Penny G. Yeah, right, Johnny. I saw that note. I'm going to read the chat after the show, everybody. I want to get to your readings. Just want to make sure. I think I just saw like Julia had to leave or whatever. Don't worry, Julia. We got you covered. We'll take care of you. Let's see. Okay, I don't see anyone else asking in caps yet, tarot requests, but I will take a look at the bottom. I'm going to get started first with Rose. And if you have a message, right on, Rose. Rose, if you have a message you want me to focus on, you can drop it in the chat. Otherwise, the tarot world knows what you want to talk about. So let's throw you some cards. Oh, you know what? I gotta take a quick break, right? So you guys get to look at the candleletto. Hang on a second. All right. Very good, Rose. I see your message. These cards are for Rose. Rose has been watching the show for a long time. Thank you very much, Rose. Glad you can make it. Could we please have a helpful, fun message for Rose? A helpful, fun message for Rose, please. These cards are for Rose. These cards are for Rose. for Rose, please. These cards are for Rose. A helpful, fun message for Rose, please. Thank you. These cards are for Rose. These cards are for Rose. A fun, helpful message for Rose, please. All right, Rose, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's see, we got a helpful, fun message for you. All right, the Three of Pentacles indicates there's some teamwork going on. And, well, it looks like everybody's hard at work on the team. The Eight of Pentacles talks about diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, repetitive tasks. All right, everybody's working together. Next up, whoa, you're all working together and there's a lot of give and take, says the Six of Pentacles. You know, you might refer to that team you're on as a well-oiled machine. Everyone, you know, offense and defense, everyone knows the plays. Whoa, I don't know what team you're on, but the High Priestess is here, and I bet she's the most valuable player. Let's read about the High Priestess. Intuition, sacred knowledge, the subconscious, divine feminine, trust yourself, sensitivity, purity, high morals. Father knows best. I don't know why that TV show title came to mind. I'm looking at the High Priestess. Maybe you have the kind of knowledge that helps a team where not everyone has that particular knowledge or skill. Nevertheless, you're all working together, pooling all your skills together. And my take on it is, it's, well, the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Swords to me says as much as you can imagine. So let's try it again. The whole team's working together. We all know we're all coordinating our efforts almost in a spiritual way, as much as you can imagine. Oh, okay. You guys are heading into the playoffs on a winning streak. Is that what's going on? Yeah, you're like at the top of the heap, first place. The next team behind you is like 5 games behind. Rose, I don't know if you know baseball at all. Maybe that dynamic helps. Oh, nice. You know how hard you guys have all been working? It's been amazing. You got like a, not just a 5-game cushion. The Nine of Pentacles says you got like a 12-game cushion. You can rest your starters in a way and save them up for the playoffs. The Nine of Pentacles is the fruits of your labor. Wow. Good management. Good team management. All right. Now the Hermit shows up, which talks about introspection. I'm going to take a look at the next card and see if it adds to it. Oh, maybe when the season's over. Wow. Well, no, that's not it. Okay, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Okay, so you're cruising into the playoffs. You got a 12-game cushion. Everyone's working well together. And then if you stop and look at it, there are going to be so many opportunities. So I would say, like in general, a lot of times, a lot of us are like, you know what? We all go to work every day, week after week, year after year. And a lot of times, you know, we're trying so hard to keep a high standard and to cooperate with others and maintain high morals as much as we can. Well, you keep plugging away. You're getting good karma. If you're making everybody's boat float, yeah, that's going to come back at you with the fruits of your labor, and then you'll see that there's going to be all kinds of opportunities for you. I tried to turn it into a fun, helpful, inspirational message, Rose. I want to thank you for inviting me to read for you. I hope it was fun and entertaining. And you know what? If I'm accurate, that would be awesome also. And you can let me know, because as I like to remind everyone, I only started doing this in March, and so I'm learning how to do it. I don't know if I'm correct unless someone tells me. So that was great, Rose. Next up, it's Julia. All right. How about a helpful, fun message for Julia, please? Over in Great Britain. That's right. Still got the Thames River painting over here for Julia. I'm not sure if she's in the chat. If she is, that's great. Okay. I'll check later. But anyway, hoping Julia has a nice day. Hey, Terra World. Thanks for that fun read with Rose. Helped us all give a moment of pause to what's going on. Meanwhile, I know you got a helpful message for our friend Julia. Okay. These cards are for Julia. Thank you for the message for Julia. Fun, helpful message for Julia, please. Yeah. I saw somewhere in a chat, I think, that Julia's going to meet with one of my heroes, John Whitberg. I can't wait for that. It's going to be so awesome. These cards are for Julia, not for John Whitberg. He's welcome on my show anytime also. But yeah, cool. These cards are for Julia. Here we go, Julia. Oh, the Two of Swords is the Crossroads card. You have all the tools you need, but you don't have all the information yet. So you're just going to sit there and repose and let things play out and see what opens up, and then you'll know which way to go. Sometimes when I see this card, I think of that scene with Liam Neeson at the end of the first in the chapters Star Wars movie, where there was like a ray shield that prevented him from fighting with Darth Maul, the Sith Lord with the double-ended lightsaber, right? And so when the ray shield went up, what is Qui-Gon, was that his name in that show? What does Liam Neeson do? He just genuflects, gets down on one knee, takes a break, takes a breather, collects himself. So anyway, that's what the Two of Swords makes me think of. Hang on a second, there's nothing to do. So, ground yourself. Here we go. Next up, wow, it's the Four of Cups. This guy has all four cups. The universe is giving him a cup, but he doesn't seem to be paying attention to it. Let's read what it says on the card. Meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, disconnected. I don't know. I guess it's easy for everybody to feel disconnected. I'm not sure how the two fit together. I'm not sure if I'm just going to say disconnected might be a theme. I bet somewhere along the way, somebody says, take a different perspective. Let's see. So, Eight of Wands, speed, flight, travel. Something's coming at us here, Julia. Yeah. Rewards for your hard work, says the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, did I say it? It's the Eight of Wands, indicates speed. Okay. And the Seven of Pentacles, you're soon going to see the fruits of your labor, the results of your hard work. I'd say you're right there. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, of course, we're talking about your podcast, which is a public thing. So very soon, you're going to see the results of your hard work, and so will everybody. Everyone's going to recognize it. Yeah, sweet. Great. Love it. Okay, come on. This is going to be a fun, helpful message for Julia. Yeah, the Magician, taking ideas and making them real and tangible. Who could have imagined or created the podcast that you did with the themes and approaches that you have? Only you. That was all your magic. Yeah, well, I say it was all your magic, but obviously you have a partner in the spirit world. This is the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups talks about unified love, partnership, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, and connection. My perspective would be connection, but I presume you already know what the Two of Cups is all about with the connection. And then finally, oh yeah, good, yay, thank you, Tarot World. Thank you for sending this nice card, my friend Julia. This is the Nine of Cups, and it says it's the wish come true. So, you know what? You're at the crossroads, you're waiting so that you can see everything, and when you reevaluate what's going on, you can see right away that all your hard work is leading to a ticker tape parade honoring your magic and how you cooperate with the spirit world to make your wish come true. But it's really a wish come true that floats everyone's boats, right? You're helping everyone with their health and wellness. So thank you, Julia, and thank you for inviting me to read. I hope that helps you have a good weekend. That's sweet. Next up, it's Judy. Oh, I just saw Arizona Raven in the chat. Hello, Arizona Raven. All right, so let's take care of Judy. Yeah, very good. Always happy that Judy's in the chat. By the way, while Judy's in the chat and I'm shuffling for Judy, I'm looking for some more players, as it were, theater players, dramatic readers is what I'm looking for. I hope to put together a Zoom meeting, a video where people would read with me scripts that I have written. You could actually find these scripts in the book I just published last week called Let's Go Off Planet with Breakaway Ray. Please see the description for a link in case you're interested. In any case, before volunteering, right? If you go to Kindle Unlimited, I think it's free. But if you want to take a look at the book, you could see the plays in the back of the book. And if any of those interest you, you could drop me a line at the email address, which is also in the description. And then you can join me. And I believe it's Judy who also said, yeah, I like to play too. So if you're interested, do let me know. But these cards are for Judy, across the pond, over where Julia is. Julia, who just threw for that awesome read. Nice. And these are for Judy, an enthusiastic STARCARD podcast supporter. Thank you so much, Judy. It's very nice to meet you. These cards are for Judy. A fun, helpful message for Judy, please. These cards are for Judy. Okay. A fun, helpful message for Judy, please. Well, here we go, Judy. Dun, 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 dun. Fun, helpful message. Temperance, the card about balance. Temperance, balance, harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose, finding meaning. Watch Breakaway Ray turn this into a card not about temperance. So while I was reading those things and I came across the term moderation, it reminded me of the quote attributed to Benjamin Franklin where he says, everything in moderation, even moderation. Hey, Judy, today is Saturday. We could cut loose. We could paint the town red. I hope you're getting ready to go out on the town tonight. Because moderation, even in moderation. All right, cut loose a little bit. Okay. Whoa. I think the tarot world is joining me in that. Because I know you are a high priestess. So take my reverse connotation, high priestess Judy. All right, it's okay to cut loose. It's going to revivify your studies the coming week. All right, the King of Pentacles shows up. Let's read what he says. Wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, prosperity, and generosity. I'm going to say that perhaps you're in a moment of abundance, and it's okay to dress up like the King of Pentacles and let everyone see it. Whoa, the Hermit card showed up. You know what? I'm just telling a creative story. So, and I know you can you can gather the energies and what the message is yourself. But anyway, let's read what it says on the Hermit card, and then I'll take another look at everything together here. Soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth-seeking, being alone, independence, inner guidance, meditation, consciousness. I totally want to turn this guy upside down and say, head out to the pub. Anyway, let's put this down here. Oh, well, you can really see this guy. He's dressed up. He's dressed up so everyone can see him. This guy, you can barely see his face. You can barely see him because he's all covered up. He's virtually camouflaged. So you could still dress up. For example, one can still dress up and still have this other personality. This guy's not going to go anywhere. He's just going to watch the show. Yeah, have a different perspective. Isn't that what I've been doing with these cards? I've been like turning them into a Saturday morning message about getting ready to go out with your friends. So let's go to the last part. I hope my desire myself to go out isn't influencing my reading too much here. So the Page of Swords says some new ideas, new ways of communicating. I agree. That's kind of what's been going on with this reading. Yeah. And then the Queen of Pentacles says nurturing, practical, providing financially, a working parent. And then there's the Magician card. The Magician card talks about action, creation, manifestation, power, self-confidence, clarity, willpower, skill, and creativity. With your new ideas, you can make them grow into something magical. Your new ideas aren't going anywhere. You already were the High Priestess. You know where the ideas are coming from. Anyway, I had fun reading, Judy. I hope that any of it was entertaining or informative. And I know you always give me good feedback. Thanks a lot, Judy. Okay, so let me take another quick look to see if there's anyone who's asking for a reading. I don't really see anyone. No. You still have a chance, everybody. I'm kind of like taking a look. Going up in the, I'm scrolling up now. Okay. Hey, everybody. Well, great. I see a lot of those soda bubble hearts bubbling up in the chat. And so that means, some people had a good time. And I'm really glad that we all got to spend this time together. Thanks a lot for dropping by STARCARD Podcast. I hope that you have a great weekend. I might bop in again, but otherwise we will see you all, on the weekdays. I'm trying to aim for the morning shows for you. So thank you very much. And I appreciate all your positive feedback. Have a good day.